that honouring title, such as a mother or any other honouring title, until God justifies me to reclaim what Satan has stolen from me, which is my title as a single mother of nearly 10 years, including the family law, which was only there to serve my daughter under the family law area. It was not there to suit me for the area of law for discrimination, damnation, disrespect, racial abuse, and other areas of law which would come under discrimination and being defamed. The government does not provide easy access to legal aid. A lot of legal aid for courts are destroyed. It is exactly the same as the Not House for the mental health services. Totally hopeless to enter a court case where a system that pre-exists more than 200 years can overpower me with their lawyers and solicitors. Obviously, it's a money game for them. It is a gangster, so it cannot be called a government. It is not sovereign. It is not sincere, so it cannot be called a government. And yet they have a dignitary position to be called themselves a government, when in fact it is a kidnapping gangster that makes money out of poor people suffering. As a single mum, I have had to go on very long waiting lists to have my surgery on both my ovary and my spine. And as a single mum, I could not work and take care of my daughter and be tortured and go to college at the same time. The lifestyle and the living, my priority was to recover, and the more I tried to rebuild and to defend myself, the more they had attacked me, the more they had surrounded me, and the more they had created a cultural background division based on the information that they have stolen. Paperwork, files recorded on the systems that were shared unlawfully without my permission, including my social media platform. So I'm still being misguided under the disguise of concern under support, under a charity, or under any other misguidance that they would use to say we're here to help you, when in fact they're there to harm me. As the example of when my ceiling had collapsed during a flood and I had broken my spine in the process of moving home. I could not claim compensation as I'm unemployed. However, if I was employed, I could claim compensation for it. And I did repair that ceiling and the loft. I could have had a concussion and a brain injury when I fell through the loft, and that was very close to my ex-husband's death, who attacked me and removed the floorboards from the loft that I didn't know that he removed, so I fell. So I paid for that loft. Somebody else is currently benefiting from it, who has moved into that home while I moved out. So I refurbished my loft, and soon after that, when I was moving out to the new home, I had an accident with my aquarium fish tank. I was exhausted moving home. I had no support. I was exhausted, following the guidelines of making sure that my daughter was reschooled. And we did find a new school for the first time in both of our lives, and a new home for the first time in both of our lives. And they put me in the wrong category, which is the vulnerable family category, which is supposed to be mixed with people that take drugs and people that are dangerous and antisocial. So they've put me in the wrong category, and consequences of that is that they overpowered me by false reports for them to gang up as a group of gangsters to kidnap my daughter. They were convinced that she'd be better off without me. And so far they've proved right that she is better off without me, through her education system, her grades, her excellent grades. But how is that better off without me when they're going to turn my daughter into a mentally sick retard? She will be a mentally sick retard because she's not had a normal upbringing from age 9 to age 18. She'll be good for nothing, even with excellent grades, if she's going to become a filthy pervert that goes around and has open, casual relationships. That's what they're teaching her. And to say that she doesn't need God, she's lost her faith in God. They don't provide her any insight of her history, of her roots being with me. We only have 4 contacts a year. So that could make my daughter become a sociopath. She could become a psychopath. She could become severely mentally ill as a result of the post-traumatic stress disorder for a child from age 9 to 18. How much worse it is for a child compared to an adult, that's my point. So they have done all that damage that they are crediting themselves for, and it's an overcredit on children's social services to say my daughter's better off without me, when in fact clearly she isn't. They forced me to live in darkness. They forced me to have this invisible enemy that has put me into a prison we all call these 2 systems, which is the NHS mental health services under the disguise of a care package. So I'm being forced to rely on and beg from my enemy because I have no family, because I'm an orphan and an outcast. They target the most vulnerable. They target